Yes, sir.
At ease, Captain Carlson.
Yes, sir.
So, how are you today?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you.
Any problem finding us?
Carlson flashed a grin as the men sitting on either side of President Nixon eyed each other uneasily. Carlson figured Nixon was kidding, but he quickly masked his amusement when tiny beads of perspiration broke out on the president's upper lip. No. Apparently Nixon's question had been sincere, and the president suddenly seemed mortified. Carlson had read about Nixon's intensity, but no newspaper article or book could have prepared him for this. No problem finding you at all, sir.
This is Mr. Haldeman.
Nixon motioned stiffly to the right with his eyes down, apparently still recovering from Carlson's amused reaction.
He is the president's chief of staff.
Carlson had read how awkward Nixon could be in social situations. His superior had warned him about it, too. Yes, sir.
And to the left is Mr. Ehrlichman. He is counsel to the president.
Nixon had just referred to himself twice in the third person. It was a sign of delusion, Carlson figured. But with the Watergate noose tightening around his neck, perhaps the president needed delusion to stay in control. The president nodded at a chair positioned in front of the desk.
Sit down, Captain.
As Carlson obeyed, he was struck by how dark Nixon's stubble was, the formality of his manner, and how stiff and clumsy the president's motions were. Nixon was no athlete.
You are a Marine,
Nixon stated. Yes, sir.
You joined the Marines after graduating from Yale University?
Yes, sir. Pride coursed through Carlson. The President of the United States knew the details of his life. With loans.
I was a naval officer, lieutenant commander.
The physical rigors of boot camp must have been hell for Nixon. He could almost hear the RDC screaming, Yes, sir, I know you.
Mr. Haldeman has done a great deal of research on you,
Nixon interrupted, gesturing to the right again.
He's impressed with your record. We all are.
The president's eyes flashed, regaining their intensity after the embarrassment of asking the awkward question about locating the White House.
Captain Carlson, we considered thousands of individuals for this mission, and we selected you.
Thank you, sir. It seemed strange, but somehow appropriate, that Carlson should show appreciation for what remained an unknown. He'd heard people call Nixon a walking enigma. Now he understood why. Nixon forced a smile to his lips.
I'm sure you're wondering why you were ordered to wear civilian clothes today, Captain Carlson.
Why would Nixon focus on that? There was a much bigger picture issue lurking in the shadows of this room, like an 800-pound gorilla. Yes, sir, I am.
The answer is because you're no longer a Marine.
Sir? You were honorably discharged from the Marine Corps this afternoon. Haldeman spoke up for the first time. You will not return to the Pentagon today. All right, Carlson answered hesitantly, uncertain if the news was good or bad. Nixon motioned to Carlson, then at Haldeman.
Mr. Haldeman has something for you, Captain Carlson. Take it, and protect it with every fiber of your being.
Carlson's heart began to thud as he stood up, moved to where Haldeman sat, took the large manila envelope the man was holding out for him, and returned to his chair. He could hear himself breathing deeply as he opened the envelope and pulled out 2 pieces of heavy paper. He was painfully aware of how the papers were shaking in his fingers, even though he held them with both hands.
I like it that you're affected,